There is a moment when anxiety feels like drowning in an ocean of your own thoughts, when your heart pounds against your ribs like a caged bird desperate for freedom, when the simple act of breathing becomes a conscious effort rather than the natural rhythm it was meant to be. We have all stood in that suffocating space at some point in our lives, where panic meets paralysis, where every cell in your body screams for relief, while your mind spins stories of catastrophe that haven't happened and may never come to pass. And I have learned that in those moments of overwhelm, you are not broken, you are not weak, you are simply human, and your nervous system is doing exactly what it was designed to do when it perceives threat, even when that threat exists only in the landscape of your imagination. I'm Harmony Ziba, and I've spent years studying the sacred intersection where ancient wisdom meets modern neuroscience, where the timeless practices of mindfulness encounter the cutting-edge understanding of how your brain creates calm. What I've discovered will transform how you understand anxiety forever. Those racing thoughts, that pounding heart, that overwhelming sense of dread, they're not your enemy. They're messengers from a nervous system that's trying to protect you. And when you learn the language it speaks, you can shift from panic to peace in 60 seconds or less. Your brain operates like the most sophisticated filtering system ever created, processing 11 million bits of information every second, while only allowing about 40 bits into your conscious awareness. Anxiety hijacks this filtering system, forcing it to scan relentlessly for danger, threat, and everything that could go wrong. But you can consciously redirect this same powerful system to scan for safety, gratitude, and everything that's actually going right in your life. This isn't positive thinking. This is neural reprogramming that creates measurable changes in your brain chemistry within moments. Our first practice leverages this truth through what I call the gratitude circuit activator. Right now, think of 3 things you're genuinely grateful for. 1 person who has touched your life. 1 experience that has shaped you. 1 simple pleasure that brings you joy. Spend 20 seconds really feeling appreciation for each one. Don't just think about them. Let the feeling of gratitude flood your chest, warm your heart, expand through your entire being. This instantly releases dopamine and serotonin while reducing cortisol. You're literally rewiring your brain toward positivity in real time. Scientists have discovered that gratitude activates the same neural pathways as morphine, but instead of numbing you, it awakens you to the abundance that already exists in your life. When you practice genuine appreciation, your brain's reticular activating system, the filter that determines what you notice, begins highlighting evidence of goodness rather than gathering proof of problems. This shift happens faster than anxiety can build momentum, making gratitude one of the most effective anxiety interruption tools available. Anxiety thrives on mental time travel, projecting into futures that don't exist, replaying pasts that can't be changed. Your second 60-second practice anchors you in the only moment where peace actually exists, right now. Look around your immediate environment and find 1 object that catches your attention. It might be a coffee cup, a plant, a piece of art, or simply the play of light across a surface. For the next 60 seconds, become completely absorbed in this single object. Notice its color, texture, shape, the way light hits it, the shadows it creates. Let your mind become completely fascinated with this 1 simple thing. This practice, called single point focus, works because anxiety cannot coexist with complete present moment absorption. When your attention becomes fully engaged with immediate sensory reality, the part of your brain that generates worried thoughts about the future literally cannot function. You're not fighting anxiety. You're starving it of the mental fuel it needs to survive. Neuroscientist Dr. Daniel Siegel calls this neural integration, where different parts of your brain work together harmoniously instead of against each other. Your brain contains specialized cells called mirror neurons that automatically mimic the emotional states of people around you. This is why you can catch someone else's anxiety just by being near them. But it also means you can consciously cultivate calm by connecting with the part of yourself that is already peaceful. Your third practice taps into this internal wisdom through what I call the inner mentor technique. Close your eyes and imagine the wisest, most peaceful version of yourself, perhaps yourself 10 years from now, having learned to navigate life's challenges with grace and wisdom. Visualize this wise self sitting calmly in a beautiful, peaceful place. Now ask this wise version of yourself, what do I need to know about this situation I'm worried about? Listen for the answer that arises. It might come as words, images, or simply a feeling of knowing. Trust whatever emerges. This wise part of you has always existed. Anxiety just makes it harder to hear its voice. This practice works because your brain cannot distinguish between vividly imagined experiences and real ones. When you connect with your inner wisdom, you activate neural networks associated with calm confidence and clear thinking. You're not creating something new. You're accessing the peace and wisdom that exists within you, even when anxiety makes it feel impossible to find. Anxiety often involves what psychologists call cognitive fusion, becoming so merged with your thoughts that you mistake them for reality. You think, I'm going to fail, and believe it's a fact, rather than recognizing it as just one possible thought among thousands. Our fourth practice creates healthy distance between you and your anxious thoughts through the observer's perch technique. When you notice anxious thoughts arising, imagine yourself stepping back and sitting on a comfortable perch high above your mental activity, like sitting on a mountain overlooking a valley filled with clouds. From this elevated perspective, watch your anxious thoughts as if they were clouds drifting through the sky of your awareness. Notice them without engaging with them. You might even label them. There's the worry cloud. There's the catastrophic thinking cloud. There's the what-if cloud. You are not these clouds. You are the vast sky in which they temporarily appear and disappear. This creates what neuroscientists call metacognitive awareness, the ability to observe your own mental processes without being controlled by them. Studies show that people who develop strong metacognitive skills show decreased activity in the default mode network, the brain system responsible for repetitive, often anxious thinking. You're literally training your brain to operate from awareness rather than reaction. Your nervous system responds powerfully to physical gestures that signal safety and self-care. Our fifth practice combines this understanding with the neurochemical power of self-compassion. When anxiety begins to build, place both hands over your heart and feel the steady rhythm of your heartbeat. This heart has beaten billions of times without your conscious effort, carrying you through every moment of your life. Say to yourself, either silently or aloud, this is a moment of difficulty. Difficulty is part of being human. May I be kind to myself in this moment. This heart-centered compassion practice activates your parasympathetic nervous system while releasing oxytocin, the same hormone released during moments of genuine connection and love. Research by Dr. Kristen Neff shows that self-compassion is actually more effective than self-esteem for emotional resilience, because it doesn't depend on feeling good about yourself. It simply requires treating yourself with basic human kindness. The most profound shift in understanding anxiety comes when you realize that the very sensitivity that makes you prone to worry is also the source of your greatest gifts. Highly sensitive nervous systems don't just pick up danger signals more quickly. They also detect beauty, meaning, and connection more deeply. Your capacity for anxiety and your capacity for joy, creativity, and love spring from the same source, a nervous system that feels everything intensely. Our final practice honors this truth through the sensitivity celebration technique. Think of one way your sensitivity has served you. Perhaps it's made you a more caring friend, a more creative person, or someone who notices beauty others miss. Spend 60 seconds appreciating this gift of sensitivity. Instead of seeing anxiety as evidence that something is wrong with you, begin to see it as evidence of how deeply you care, how much you want things to go well, how invested you are in the people and experiences that matter to you. This reframe doesn't eliminate anxiety, but it transforms your relationship with it. Instead of fighting against your sensitive nature, you learn to work with it, honoring its wisdom while teaching it new ways to keep you safe. You develop what I call anxiety literacy, the ability to read your anxiety like valuable data about what matters to you and what needs attention in your life. The journey from anxiety to calm is not about eliminating all worry from your life. It's about developing the skills to meet anxiety with presence, wisdom, and compassion when it arises. Every time you practice one of these 60-second techniques, you're building neural pathways for peace. Every moment you choose awareness over reactivity, you're strengthening your capacity to remain centered during life's inevitable storms. You carry within your nervous system everything you need to transform anxiety from overwhelming force into valuable information. These practices aren't just coping strategies. They're tools for awakening to the calm, wise, resilient being you have always been beneath the surface of every worried thought. Your sensitivity is not your curse. It's your superpower, waiting to be channeled into greater awareness, deeper compassion, and more authentic living. Remember that learning to work with anxiety is like learning any new skill. It takes practice, patience, and self-compassion. Start with whichever technique feels most accessible to you today. Use it consistently for a week, then add another. Trust that your brain is already beginning to change. Your nervous system is already learning new patterns of response, and your capacity for calm is already expanding with each conscious choice you make.